Okay, so today is a part 2 of the third party reading. Today we are looking at how does your person feel about the other person in this third party situations. And yeah, we're just going to take a look to see what's kind of going on in their relationship. We'll take a look at their current energy and then also more specifically their feelings towards that person and any messages they may have for them. Again, keep in mind this is a general reading. This is not a private reading, so not all the messages in your particular group will be for you. Please use your own intuition and discretion to discern what resonates and what does not. So for our first group here, we have this blue marker. Group number 2 is going to be this light pink marker. And finally, group number 3 is going to be this purple marker. All right, we'll see you guys in your group. All right, so for group number 1, those of you who chose this blue marker, this is going to be messages from your person to their third party. Okay, so this first row here is the overall energy of their relationship, and the second row here is going to be their feelings towards that person specifically, okay? So the first card that came up was the 6 of Pentacles. So in some cases, this may be that your person is dependent on this third party for financial support or just kind of fulfilling some sort of like stability or basic need. This also could indicate that things are, in a sense, there is give and take in the relationship and there is some kind of balance in that regard. But because of the art of this card specifically, it just seems more like a condescending energy, even though it does seem to be more like well-meaning charity usually. But in this card, it kind of seems like manipulative, and you'll see why here. So the next cards that came out were the 9 of Cups reversed with the 3 of Wands, and then these were clarified by the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So what this is telling me is that this person is feeling a little bit insecure. Maybe the relationship that they're currently in or the relationship with this person is kind of forcing them to be a little bit vain. Basically, there's just insecurity ruminating, and they're having a hard time finding pleasure and happiness within themselves, and they're kind of just waiting to see where this relationship grows to see if it will fulfill them. But they also acknowledge too that there's this sincere lack of ultimate stability with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like there's a part of them that is still hoping and praying that there's going to be able to achieve this ultimate stability, but then at the same time it's like they kind of know that it won't come. But the bigger issue is their own insecurity, which might be a result of this relationship, or it might be just something that they're bringing into the relationship. Next, you have for their current energies together is the Knight of Cups reversed with the the King of Swords reversed as well. So it's almost like they're holding back in this relationship, or like both people are holding back because it seems to be primarily driven by selfish reasons. It's almost like there's a mutual sense of them withholding in the relationship to hurt the other person. And that's kind of further proven by these two cards. They both came out in reverse. The King of Wands with the Queen of Wands. They came out at the same time, both in reverse. So really what this is telling me is that both people in this relationship, your person and their third party, they deserve each other in the sense that like they're both pretty nasty to each other sometimes. And this also might be why you're involved in this third party situation, because you might be looking at them together and be like, you guys make each other miserable. Why are you together? Like, you guys are just absolutely awful. But it's like they deserve each other because, I don't know, honestly, it just seems that whatever energy your person is currently in, they are equally hurting each other. They are equally manipulating each other. They are equally not in a great place. And it might not even be necessarily that they're doing it directly to each other so much as it is that maybe that's how they both behave towards the world. And so in that sense, they deserve each other. Whether or not this person would be different outside of this relationship, that's another question. But at least in terms of how they're showing up in this reading, in their energy with their person, that's what's going on. And then next here you have the Five of Wands reversed with the moon backing it. So this tells me again that there are a lot of negotiations and compromises, but it comes with strings attached. Again, highly manipulative energy. It's like, well, you did this for me, so now, well, I did this for you, so now you owe me this, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of strings attached. There's a lot of drama in that sense. A lot of manipulation, a lot of guilt tripping. And then there's also the Five of Swords, which is backing the Queen of Pentacles. So this is kind of, again, just lending itself towards that manipulation narrative where it's like they help each other out, but only so long as it helps them get what they want. Okay, so as far as how your person feels about their person or their third party, is first card is the Tower in reverse. So there is a lot of drama. They might be looking at them as a drama queen, and they might be looking at them as just like a complete mess, a complete wreck. But at the same time, they're looking at this person as the sun. They're seeing this person as their true counterpart. They're seeing this person as someone who can make them very, very happy, as a twin flame, someone who maybe cures them of feeling lonely, in spite of all the drama that comes with it. And again, we did have the King of Wands and Queen of Wands come out together in the same orientation in reverse. So again, these two people, like for wherever they are at currently in life, they just perfectly deserve each other. All right, and then we have the Four Swords reverse with the Page of Cups reverse. So it's almost like this person is getting so frustrated with this like manipulative energy, like they're starting to feel ungrateful, and they are considering walking away from this person, or maybe they are seeing this other person as like just constantly running away into their own ungrateful energy. And then you have the Ten of Cups in reverse, which is clarified by the Three of Wands. In this deck, the Three of Wands is a little bit less about waiting, a little bit more about working on personal endeavors. But I did find it really interesting that in both the overall energy of the connection, we had the Three of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now we have the Three of Wands with the Ten of Cups reversed as how this other person is looking at them. So the reality is it is a very unstable relationship, but then he's more so looking at this person and feeling like he's being robbed of happiness with this third party. Or it could just be that it could also be the sense of this person is unable to, like they feel like they're the reason why they can't reach this full happiness with their person. They feel like it's something that they're doing wrong. Okay, and then lastly, this person also has the Nine of Swords backed by Death in reverse, and then was clarified by the Two of Swords. So it seems like this person is very anxious about how things are inevitably going to change once they make a decision. So whatever decision that this person needs to make, which is probably this whole third party thing, they're afraid of what the consequences are of and how that's going to affect their person. So in some cases, your person might be realizing that this is a toxic relationship and they need to leave, and they're worried about what the consequences are of making the decision to leave. For others of you, it might be a decision completely not to do with you, completely not to do with the third party situation that you're in, but or like this love triangle, I really want to just call it that. It might actually be something else completely outside of that. There's something else that some other information that they're holding back, a decision that they need to make that's really freaking them out. But that doesn't seem to be what would apply to most of you. All right, so next we're going to take a card from the Raven's Wand Oracle. And this is a little bit more about how your person is feeling about their third party in this love triangle. So I pulled Eternal Flame, and this is what it says. Coven Mother Cece's task is to wait the return of Estrus, the last dragon. However, the lighthouse built to guide her home is crumbling and Astris has been lost for generations. The task seems hopeless, but Cece remains vigilant. Day after day, she watches from the decaying balcony. Her face is as battered as the stonework, but the lantern is never allowed to go out. Cece inherited her duty from the former watcher and will pass it on if Astris does not return in her lifetime. Remember, there are events playing out that transcend single lifetimes, and although our part in them might be fleeting, it is not insignificant. Have faith. So this person is basically indicating that they, despite all the drama, despite all the manipulation, despite all the crap in this relationship, they still really want to try to make things work with this person. They want to continue to wait. They're not ready to give up on them. So now we're going to get into messages that your person has for the other person. I feel like the language in this video is so confusing. Please do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not all the messages are going to apply to your specific situation. Please use your own intuition to determine, intuition and discretion to determine what is right for you and what is not. As always, if this doesn't resonate, feel free to pick a different group, a different video, a different reader. It really doesn't matter to me so long as, you know, you're following your path. Okay? All right, so here's the first card. He's looking, this is not gender specific, of course, obviously, but just for the sake of simplicity, so I don't have to keep on constantly saying your person and their other person. So he might be saying to her, who are you? This could be something that's either like in awe, or this could be something where they're frustrated and annoyed. Honestly, for whatever reason, I'm getting up more the idea that it's a sort of, they're saying it in awe, like they're kind of almost impressed with what this person is capable of. They're saying, you are everything to me. This person really has a lot of faith that they can turn, they can get that 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. It's just for whatever now it's being delayed, and they're still, they still just have so much hope. Say, I need time. So whatever this Tower thing is that's going on, maybe they just need to take a break. Also saying, please forgive me. They might be asking them to forgive them for cheating, or to forgive them for dating other people and not wanting to settle down. Oh yeah, that might be another message for you guys. So if this third party person, they aren't are in an exclusive relationship at this moment, this person might actually have a little bit of anxiety about what will happen, how will their relationship change once they make it official. They might be worried that things are going to get worse. Okay, they're also saying, I love you. So this person has very deep and intense feelings for this third party. It doesn't mean that they're going to date them necessarily. It doesn't mean that things are necessarily going to work out. It just means that this person has some kind of attachment that they might be struggling to get out of. And they're also saying, why did you say that? So again, I think just going back to the whole manipulation thing, this other person might be putting them down a lot. They're also saying, this isn't enough for me. So some of you, your person might be getting frustrated at the fact that things aren't moving forward the way that they want them to. That it's kind of like they're constantly like playing a game. Or it just might be that maybe they're looking down on their other person and kind of thinking that, you know, even though they can make me really happy and they have like this strong connection, there's just something that's missing. Like maybe it's just a lack of emotion, or like a lack of true intimacy. So either way, it's, yeah, something like that. So again, I guess just to recap, your person seems to be very much in a very manipulative situation, but they are, at least at this time, playing into that. Whether or not that's who they truly are, that's how they are in this dynamic. This person has a lot of hope and a lot of desire to have ultimate fulfillment with this other person, but they're also, some of them are starting to realize that it's not exactly possible. And for some of your people, they might be afraid to make the commitment with this third party because they're afraid of how it's going to change, or they're afraid to leave this third party because they're afraid of Well, yeah, not just about how this relationship is going to change, but just how things are going to change in general. All right, so I hope that helps you guys for group number 1. Let me know if it's resonated or not, and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, so for those of you who chose group 2 with this pink marker, we're going to get into it here. Once again, just as a reminder for all of you, this is a general reading. Not all of the messages today will apply to your specific situation, and just use your discretion in deciding what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so this first row here is the overall energy of the relationship between your person and the other person. So starting out, there's definitely the star energy. There's a lot of wish fulfillment. There's definitely a lot of attraction between the two of them in that sense. There is also the Knight of Cups energy. So this could be a relationship that hasn't quite come into fruition yet for some of them. And I am also getting some long distance vibes that these two have together, because there's also the Chariot here. So there does seem to be a lot of success, a lot of forward movement, or at least a desire to do so, and it does seem to be pretty optimistic or pretty successful. There's also the energy with the Emperor having the Temperance in reverse. There might be this sense that there's a little bit of impatience, a little bit of unwillingness to wait for this, but also understanding that there is this kind of like strength and abundance within this connection. Next we have the Five of Swords reversed, clarified by the Three of Pentacles reversed. It's almost like these two people, whenever they disagree on something, they kind of just agree to disagree. They don't want to ever keep fighting about something. And then there's also the Seven of Pentacles. So there does seem to be this sense that their relationship has been growing consistently and steadily and becoming more and more stable over time, or just better. Like they've made a lot of progress. Like maybe in some cases they're kind of waiting to get into this more abundant energy for them to be together, and maybe that's what's holding them back. So the second row here is how your person feels about the third party specifically. There was a dog that barked kind of a weird way. It scared me. So the first card is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So your first instinct that your person might have about this third party is that they're a little bit of a bitch. They might have a lot of cutting words. They might be unfair a lot of the time. They might also be seeing them as the Fool, and that they really admire that this person is pretty bold and will just take a lot of risks. They have no problem jumping into new things, and they really love that about them. And they also love how creative they are, how much of a daydreamer they are. This is the Seven of Cups in this deck, because in this deck is a little bit more about fantasy and creation and imagination. Then they also have the King of Swords, so they might also be seeing this person as a little bit of a dictator in some ways. They might feel like this person, even though they have this Fool energy, for whatever reason, they tend to fall back into this more like dictatorship kind of personality. And because of that, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, clarified by Judgment. So it seems like this person is a little bit confused as to how to approach the relationship. They're a little bit confused, quite literally how they should judge this relationship. They're a little bit unclear on like who this person really is. They might be lacking, or they might be feeling like there's an ultimatum coming for them as well from this person. That's definitely a message for some of you. You also have the Two of Wands in reverse, clarified by the Fool as well. So this person, in spite of their creativity, there might be something holding them back, like or the fact that maybe they never finish projects. They're constantly starting new ones, and they have all this creative energy, but they don't really know where to put it. So they might be looking at this person as someone who just never finishes their projects, or in some cases doesn't really ever finish their relationships, doesn't see them through to the end. It's not real clear if like this person is looking for long-term or not, but this person is definitely very interested in making something work and feels optimistic about that. So next we're going to pull the Raven's Wand Oracle. We got mistakes teach us in reverse. I'm going to show it to you in the upright position while I read what the reverse meaning is. Lana's green clothes are symbolic of spring. The snowdrops are awakening from their winter sleep. There is a creative urge in you that is longing to grow and break free. Whatever the season, imagine it is always spring and let your creativity bloom. So this person might be getting a little bit of the feeling that the third party is quite fickle. This might be someone who is hard to pin down, someone who is hard to get into a committed relationship with. And this person might frankly be enjoying the chase. They might definitely be the kind of person who likes to have new beginnings. They like when things are clean and new. But then there's also like this energy of growth. Like they like to see things blossom into something new and something better and something bigger. So they might also be going after this relationship for that kind of like fulfillment, to be satisfied with the progress that they're making. And you might also be looking at a person who dates a lot of people, but not for a long period of time. Like as soon as they stop seeing any growth, they kind of get bored. So they might just be really excited by this person because they feel like there's a lot of potential, and that's about it. Okay, so lastly, we're going to jump into the messages that your person had to say specifically about this other person. Once again, take what resonates, leave what does not. There's quite a few messages in here, and so not all of them are likely to apply to you. Okay, so the first one is, I need a hug. So this person, for one reason or another, might be looking at this other person as someone who can comfort them. Or maybe they are lamenting the fact that this third party person isn't really emotionally available, because there's not a lot of that. There's really not a lot of emotion. It just seems to be they're dealing with a lot more of a logical person. They're also saying, I'm sorry. So maybe this person was either guilt tripped, or maybe this person feels bad about straying and not committing to this relationship. They're also saying, I'm having trouble believing. So that might be going back to this energy here where they don't really know what to think of the person. They don't really know what judgment to make. I know if I shared my problems with you, I would feel better, but I can't. It's also saying, please help me. So this person might be feeling a little bit desperate right now. Please don't let go. Again, this person seems to be very excited by this relationship and they want to move forward, but they're a little scared. And they're also saying, you are everything to me. So overall, it seems like a person is very passionate about this third party. There is something about them that really draws them in, but for one reason or another, they feel like they still have to hold back. So there is a lot of doubt still in here, a lot of instability. They might be fearing that this person could really cut them apart with their words. But that about sums it up for you guys. That was pretty short. So I hope that helped. I hope that made sense for your situation. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome group number 3. If you picked this purple marker, then this is going to be your reading for this third party situation in terms of how your person feels about the third party in this love triangle. I can tell you off the bat that just what I was feeling in general was a lot of like, more so than the other groups, a very significant amount of like not giving a fuck anymore. Like it just in the sense like that was kind of like the attitude of this reading, of just kind of being over it, just kind of being done. So this first word here is going to be describing the current energy between the two people, just overall, not necessarily specific feelings that they have. The first card is Knight of Swords, clarified by, what is that, Justice. So this person feels like it's just overdue. Like there's just some kind of balance that they're waiting on, and he's waiting for it to rush in, or they're waiting for it to rush in. I'm probably going to say he a lot just for simplicity, because I've been saying like your person's other person and that person's like so many times that it's getting a little bit confusing. So I think if you hear me say that, believe me when I say I'm not trying to be gender specific. It's just because it's making it a lot simpler to do, and just like there's just an overwhelming energy from this one too, of just like I don't care anymore. Like, this is bullshit. Some of you may have actually heard that person say this about this third party in this love triangle. But yes, there's definitely like this wanting to, well, for some of them, there's like this wanting to like be a hero and kind of like rush in and like balance things and get justice. And for other them, there are little others of your peoples, others of them. For the others, they are kind of in fear that there's just a sense that there's some sense of justice that's going to be rushing in at some point. Like somebody is overdue to get served a little humble slice of pie, a slice of humble pie. Okay, then you also have the Four of Swords in reverse. So this is talking about wanting to get out of the ground, moving out of that Three of Swords energy, ready to start to take action. So again, very action-oriented. Honestly, too, you have, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, you have 5 swords. So this is very, very, very much like an in-the-head kind of an energy, and that might be why this person is so like, I don't give a fuck anymore, because they're so tired of thinking. And then you also have the King of Swords in reverse, so there might be this feeling that things are a little bit unjust and unbalanced. There might be someone who is particularly barbaric, particularly overbearing, particularly like laying down the law in a tyrannical way. There's also this feeling of wanting to move away from like a dumpster fire into something much better. Like they're wanting to move into greener pastures. They want to make forward momentum. In some cases that might indicate wanting to go long distance, because this doesn't seem to really be anything that has actualized into the physical. Maybe that's part of like what all this rushing energy is, wanting to like get out of the ground and make a move forward. You can also see here too that the King of Swords, he has this little guy who's holding the world. So maybe that's like one of the things that just are really frustrating in this relationship, is that they can't physically be together and they're wanting to change that. There's also the Seven of Pentacles in reverse with the Empress clarifying it. So this person is getting a little bit impatient on waiting for this Empress energy. They're wanting to see more of like this abundance and this caring and giving energy from this other person, which seems to be completely absent overall, because again, this is just all swords that are out here. So they might feel like there might be this feeling that in the relationship there's just a lack of mutual compassion. And then there's also the Page of Swords in reverse, is clarified by the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This could be that somebody's lying about how much money that they actually make. This also could just be in general somebody is just lying a lot about things that there's no need to lie about, things that like don't even necessarily have anything to do with the relationship. Or maybe they're overplaying their hand in the sense of they're trying to make things look better than they really are. But there's just a lot of deceit and just not good vibes going on in this relationship. It seems to be like they're rushing things without, I mean, all they're doing is thinking. But it's like they're just doing it almost because it's what they feel like they're supposed to do. It's not seeming to be like what they actually want. They seem to be a little bit out of touch with their feelings. All right, so the second row here is how your person feels specifically about your person instead of overall energy. And here you have the Judgment in reverse as clarified by, yeah, that's the Knight of Pentacles. So your person feels like, again, there's like a final judgment that's coming, and it's unclear whether this person is worried that it's coming for them or if they feel like it's overdue for the other person. But it's like either way, somebody fucked up somewhere, somebody did something wrong, and this judgment has been coming for a long time, and someone's gonna get like their whole world like turned over, and someone's just gonna get effectively smited, and they're kind of just waiting for that because they know that it's due to come. It's coming. It's just taking its time. They also have the Nine of Wands backed by the Queen of Swords, and then it was clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So what this is telling me is that this person is kind of at the point where they're a little bit sick of this balancing act. They're a little bit sick of this balancing game. And this person might also be feeling a little bit guilty about being involved with other people. So if this is a relationship that hasn't become official or a commitment. This person might be slowing down to analyze all the different things that they've been doing and balancing and prioritizing over this person because they realize that they've been hurting them. And they might be trying to take some time to slow down and seriously think about, like, are they willing to give those other things up? Are they really ready to stop the balancing act? For other people, this might mean that just in general, maybe they got caught balancing multiple relationships, and they're at the point now where they're taking a time to reflect and realize that their actions had consequences. And then trying to think about what they want, maybe. Your person is also looking at them as the high priestess, but it's backed by the moon in reverse, and it was clarified by the star. So while your person sees this third party as someone who's very wise and insightful, they also kind of feel like that person is very, almost like immature about it. It's almost like it's fake. It's almost like it's not real. It's like they're starting to pick up on some bullshit. And again, like, also with this pile too, it's like, I don't know if your person is really vulgar or something, but it's just like, yeah, there's just a lot of like really hasty, intense, and negative energy. Just like, oh my God, just, you know, like this person is kind of realizing that this other person isn't that great. It's just all been something that's just kind of been surface level. There's also this Three of Wands clarified by, is this a page? Yeah, the Sota, the Page of Cups. So it's like this person is waiting to hear about some gratitude from this person, but this person never gives it. It's like this person intentionally withholds compliments in order to have some kind of power in the relationship. It's like, yeah, they consistently withhold stuff to make the other person feel bad, almost. But what's really interesting, these didn't come out together, but I'm going to show you them together, is that there is still the sun energy. So this person might be looking, so your person might be looking at this person as like a twin flame kind of a thing, like someone that they feel inexplicably bound to for one reason or another. This isn't quite double energy because like it is something that does make them happy, but ultimately it seems like it's some kind of a karmic relationship. There's a lot of lessons for them to learn, and in the end they are going to be a better person for it. And so maybe that's like one thing that they're really thinking about. Maybe they're really happy about the company that this person has provided for them. They're really happy about the happiness that this person has given them. And maybe that's another thing that they're slowing down to think about, is like, is this happiness worth like just all the general absence of emotion? There's like no emotion in any of these cards hardly. This is just something that's just purely like, I don't know, like I'm sitting here wondering why the heck this person got involved with them in the first place. Obviously there's something, but yeah, it just definitely seems to be like some kind of a karmic relationship where they just have to, there's some lesson that they need to learn from this person, and that's why they're so attracted to them. But yeah, you also have the Nine of Pentacles for how they feel about them. So there is this feeling that, yeah, they're looking at them as someone who is super attractive, someone who's really well off. And so maybe that's why it's just like completely in their head. Like maybe in their head, it's like this person is everything that they've ever wanted. But the lesson is maybe that they have to learn that what they thought they want isn't going to come in the package that they thought it would. All right, so something a little bit weird happened with you guys, because when I went to pull your oracle, I was pulling the Ravenswand oracle for the other two groups, but the cards weren't cooperating, so I guess I decided to pull a white light oracle instead. And so I guess this kind of also goes to reiterate the fact that it seems like your person is in a karmic relationship and they have a lot of healing that they need to do to move on into a better place before they're ready either for a relationship with you or just anyone in general. Like this person has something that they need to learn, and it's just like, it's like, how many swords do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we only have 6. Only 6 out of what? How many are there? That means there's only like 7 missing. So yeah, it's about like half the swords overall. I don't know, like this person is in their head, but it's like they're not really in anguish about it. It's kind of like they know what it is, but at the same time, they're still going after it. Like I don't see that this person is really suffering from what's happening, and it's probably because like this person hasn't like opened themselves up and they haven't really learned their lesson yet. But they might be getting that smack in the face pretty soon with this Knight of Swords, with the Justice, and Judgment in reverse with a Knight of Pentacles. Like there's something coming either for one or both of them that's really going to be a wake-up call. That's really going to dramatically change everything. Okay, so the card that they got for the Oracle, it is the Seraph of 963 Hertz. And I'm just going to read the short explanation for it because otherwise it can get quite long. And it says, practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. So it sounds like, yeah, again, this person is on a learning and a healing journey. And maybe they don't really understand what happiness is for them yet. And that's why they're stuck in this relationship, because that's something that it's meant to show them. It's meant to show them what is true happiness versus like what is it, like love or lust. It's kind of like that kind of a lesson that they have to learn. And even though there aren't a lot of wands which would indicate lust, it's definitely not like there's not a lot of emotion, there's not a lot of stability, there's not a lot of passion. It's just like, yeah, this might be a long distance relationship where they've never actually met in person and they're just kind of obsessing over the idea of this other person. But reality is going to hit them hard, like if they do meet them, or if the other person ends up dating someone before they meet in real life or something like that. That could definitely be part of the lesson there, and that might be like why they feel a little bit more open to juggling multiple relationships. All right, so I'm going to get into the messages, and I always try to say before these that take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not all the messages are going to be specific for your situation. Some of the messages might be there for other people. Please also keep an open mind and open heart, because even if there is a negative message, sometimes we need those in order to make situations better. Sometimes it can be a message that liberates us from a toxic situation. Other times it can be because it is there to help us hone in on like what is hurting us, hone in on like what isn't working in a way that we can actually start to make progress and move forward and feel better about things. So even if there is something negative, unless you're like explicitly in a position where you know that you can't really handle that right now, of course, always I would recommend, if you know for a fact that you can't handle it for one reason or another, or you just, and I mean, that's completely your own judgment. That's completely up to you. So use your own discretion if you feel like it's honestly not something that you're ready for. And for those of you who do stay, let's take a look and see what they have to say. So again, these messages are going to be from your person to the third party. These hypothetically might not have anything to do with you. All right, so the first message is, will you listen to me? They might feel like, it's pretty self-explanatory. They feel like the other person isn't listening to them. That might be because they made a mistake and they're really trying to correct it, but the other person isn't considering their side of the story. They're also saying, I wish you said what you really felt. So this person feels like this person is hiding emotions, which is quite evident from what we have seen. There's really a complete void of emotion in this relationship, in this connection. That might be another thing that they want them to listen to. They might be wanting them to listen to like a confession of how they feel, and maybe this other person just doesn't like to talk about emotions. They're just not ready for that, or they just don't want it. They're also wondering, why do you like me? This person is having a hard time understanding why this other person is attracted to them, why they're even getting involved. this is good news for you guys, actually. They're saying there's someone else to this person. So the person that you're asking about, they could be talking about you. Very well could be talking about you. Or they could be talking about yet another person. And because it just says there's someone else, it is pretty vague. It could also just mean that your third-party situation has another third-party situation. It could be a mom that's being overbearing and controlling and relying too heavily on this person to provide for her or take care of her. Or this could be, in other cases, you know, not a family member, but like a friend that is just requiring a lot of attention and care right now. But I think for most of you, it actually is a confirmation that this person is thinking more about you than they're thinking about the person that they're connecting with in this third party. So to be clear, your person is probably thinking about you more than the other woman or the other man. They're also saying, please forgive me. So this person might have been caught talking to other people. There might be something completely unrelated to that they did. Maybe they lashed out and they feel like maybe they feel, even if they didn't do anything wrong, they might feel responsible for why this other person is in like all of these sword energies. They might feel like they might be internalizing those things and blaming it on themselves. They're also saying, I'm drowning. So this person seems to have some deep-seated issues that are bigger than this connection. Or this connection is something that is making them feel really overwhelmed. Maybe there's a lot of expectations that both sides have that's really causing them to suffer. They're also saying, someone hurt me and I don't know if I'll ever recover. So this person is wholly admitting that they have a lot of baggage. This is someone who maybe the reason why they sought this relationship out is because they're not ready for an emotional relationship, because whatever they went through before was so profound that it just kind of screwed them up for life. And like, I don't mean to laugh, it's just it just, their issues are bigger than this person. So if you feel that way too and you're kind of wondering why this person is emotionally absent with you and why they don't seem to be ready, it's not even about this third party that they're dealing with in the present. It's from someone way in the past who really hurt them. And lastly, they're saying, I don't know how to express myself to you. So again, this person is definitely someone who is hiding a lot of old baggage, someone who has just been permanently changed by those situations and isn't sure how to move forward and they don't know how to be in a relationship. It seems like it's like whatever happened in the past was so significantly bad that it forever, I don't want to say forever, but from their perspective, it's like they feel incapable of ever having their dream relationship. And so this might be a situation where they're just really trying to settle because it seems like the logical thing to do. It seems like the right thing to do. But in all actuality, it's just it's supposed to just be a karmic relationship to teach them how to open again and that it's okay to. And it's hard to say how you should approach this situation specifically. I would just say if you're talking to this person, just be supportive of them in whatever decision that they make. Understand that this person, like this is a message I think for almost all of you, is probably carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of hurt, a lot of regret from past relationships and just other things that they've been through and projecting it onto this relationship. So if you're very confused by this person is just really, they need time to just figure things out in general. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight, if not some comfort into your situation in some sense. If this resonated for you or if it didn't, let me know in the comments down below, and I hope to see you in another video. Thank you.